You're watching a segment of The Splash, Greater West Bloomfield's news magazine show. Welcome back to The Splash, everyone. I'm Jonathan Jackson, and joining me again is Chef Annabel Cohen from Annabel Cohen Cooks Detroit. Now, she's a local caterer here within West Bloomfield, and today she's going to share with me a couple recipes or meals that you can celebrate over the holidays, coming up, of course, Thanksgiving in November. Yes. And what would you say are some popular, or at least items that people are into besides turkey or stuffing, but what kind of things are you involved in when catering over the holidays?
Well, you mentioned turkey, and that's number one for Thanksgiving for sure. Yeah. And but you also mentioned stuffing, but there's 100 different kinds of stuffing. Okay. That's the thing. So I think those are great to work on. You can be pretty much traditional with your turkey. I don't care how you make it, deep fry it, roast it, put it on the barbecue. It doesn't really matter. But the side dishes can be very, very interesting. And you don't have to reinvent anything. You have a favorite stuffing recipe, let's say. Mm-hmm. You mentioned stuffing as if it was just one kind of stuffing in the world, Whoa. Right? But you can take that stuffing, it's your mother's most delicious cornbread stuffing, and you can add other ingredients to it to make it even more delicious, or not necessarily more delicious, but different. Okay. For example, embellishing any of the foods. You could take that same stuffing and add dried fruits to it and toasted nuts or pine nuts, and all of a sudden it's got a whole different level. Now it's a little bit crunchy and a little bit sweet. So that's one way of doing things. You talked earlier, we spoke about mashed potatoes. You said your mom makes the best mashed potatoes with lots of butter and milk.
Shout out to my mom.
Right, but you could also take those same mashed potatoes and put in some goat cheese in it, some soft goat cheese like Chev, and or some roasted garlic, and suddenly those mashed potatoes are different and a little bit more festive. Mm-hmm. And the same thing goes with all the side dishes. Again, Thanksgiving is usually about comfort food. True. But where a lot of people fall short on Thanksgiving is with fresh vegetables and salads. Again, salads are a great way to brighten any sort of a meal. Today we're doing some different things with salads. Almost all greens can become salads now. It used to be the kale was something that would just line a fruit platter from a delicatessen or a grocery store. Now people are taking that same kale and chopping it up and adding all different kinds of ingredients, even things like roasted butternut squash or peas, frozen peas from a bag, and making the salads more interesting. Okay. You could potentially take your favorite vinaigrette dressing and stir in a little bit of cranberry sauce, and suddenly you've got a cranberry vinaigrette. So the wonderful thing about cooking in general is that you don't have to be inventive every single time. You don't have to reinvent your recipes. Okay. You can take the same recipes you have and make them perfect for the holidays. Yeah. You don't have to open every cookbook you own to find something that's going to be appealing to you. Mm-hmm. You can open the cookbook that's already in your head. Yeah. And
no need to reinvent the wheel.
Yes,
right?
exactly. That's a great, I think, a great tip for holidays. The other thing I want to talk about is appetizers. Appetizers take up a lot of real estate on the entertaining table this season. Okay. And I think, again, that's another thing where people are constantly looking to do things that are a little bit different. Yeah. I mean, sure, you can do a beautiful cheese platter, and that's already an appetizer. But you can take your famous meatballs, the ones that you make and put over spaghetti. I know you said your mom makes good spaghetti.
Spaghetti, too. Yep, another one.
You can take those same meatballs, and if you put them in some sort of a chafing dish, or if you, instead of using tomato sauce, use a barbecue sauce, suddenly those same meatballs that are part of a dinner now are an appetizer.
Oh, you've got my mouth watering now.
So anything you can eat with a fork and a knife can become an appetizer. You can thread romaine lettuce, a piece of chicken, and a crouton, and on a skewer, and drizzle some Caesar dressing and Parmesan cheese over it, and all of a sudden you've got a Caesar salad kebab that's tiny and a perfect appetizer. You can give me a food. Throw in any food.
Well, how about chicken?
Okay, chicken. Well, chicken's really, really easy. Yeah. Chicken is one of those things that really only needs to be marinated in a vinaigrette, and I don't care if you make it, I don't care if you buy it. But if you add a few other ingredients, like if you take some sort of an Asian vinaigrette and add a little bit of sesame seeds to it and maybe some fresh cilantro, if you like cilantro, you can take that same chicken, cut it up into little cubes or into thin strips, and sort of either weave it or put it on a little skewer or toothpick, and just broil it for literally 2 to 3 minutes. You don't want to overcook anything.
Yeah.
No, not at all. And and you've got a wonderful little appetizer for chicken. Or you can make your favorite chicken salad. Whatever chicken salad it is, just chop it up really small and serve it on a bread toast, like a crostini or a bruschetta, and that's an appetizer. So again, whatever you like can become an appetizer if you serve it in small enough portions. Even your most delicious salad, if you serve it in a shot glass, and it can be a disposable shot glass. They're available in some of the party stores and big box stores, and that's suddenly an appetizer. Appetizers are just smaller portions. So again, you don't have to open up your entire recipe collection to make appetizers.
You've got the food already there,
You've got it
all up in here.
Exactly.
So, no need to, like we said, it's always about just what caters to you,
Exactly. What do you like?
Exactly.
I always say to people when I'm doing a menu, I don't care what you serve. I really don't care. It's going to be, whatever I make is going to be delicious, but I wanted to make sure it's something that you like. So you already know you like chicken. So now you can have something with chicken. Those same mashed potatoes that we talked about earlier, you can serve them in a martini glass and maybe have a bunch of different toppings: sautéed onions, caramelized onions, sautéed mushrooms, even ground beef or sausage, and a couple of gravies, and you've got a mashed potato bar, which is such a fun appetizer or a festive party dish.
Yeah, and that's something I never even heard of, a mashed potato bar, but it sounds fun.
It is fun.
Sweet
potatoes, mashed potatoes, yeah. So, again, you can do the same things you do every single time, little quiches, deviled eggs. It's all good. But if you want to do some other things, think about your favorite foods and just make them in smaller quantities and think about different ways of serving them.
All right. Well, thank you again, Chef Annabel. That was some good tips, and we appreciate that because, as we said, holidays are coming up, and, meals and appetizers and side dishes are all very important this season.
Very important.
Very important.
Everybody eats.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody eats. Once again, everybody know, Chef Annabel Cohen, of course, Annabel Cohen Cooks Detroit. It's a catering business that's local here to West Bloomfield and has plenty of good and delicious items on the menu. So definitely check them out if you get a chance.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Thanks for watching a segment of The Splash. To catch the entire show or other segments, watch us on Comcast Channel 15 or AT&T Channel 99, or look us up online at thesplash.tv and listen to us on WBLD 89.3, the all-new Lakes FM.